welcome to my channel. And gosh, yeah, I know these were in the pipelines before I got the pointers. Let me see if I could pull one out here. Okay, so before, these were actually ordered on Amazon. I will be sure to link it in the description below. So while these were in the pipeline, I saw that they had been importing pointers, pointers, paint markers, and the Posca paint markers into my country. And so these were in the pipelines before I got these. But since we're in my country, I decided to buy them and try them out and to see how they looked. Now that I've gotten these, let's talk about what they are. These are Zeyar Art Paint Pens. They are water-based acrylics. They're supposed to be waterproof, opaque ink, light fast, permanent. They have a medium point, safe to use, right on most surfaces. And in order to activate them, you must shake it, press it, or vent it as they say. Shake it, vent it. So you shake it, then press the tip to vent it, and then you press it to activate the ink, and then you write. Now the reason I haven't been doing that is because I already did that already. So this is more like a review than a first impression, because I've been working with these now for a few days, well, for a couple days, and I really like these. Like I said, I've already swatched them out. Here they are at the bottom. Look up, these are the colors that I have. I have seen this come, the medium point tips come in a 12 pack and a 24 pack. And I've seen they have a broad point nib that comes in a 6 pack. They have what they call regular colors and pastel colors. And then I also have seen they have a fine point nib that comes, and they call it fine point nib, a 0.7 millimeters that comes in a 12 pack, a 24 pack, and a 48 pack. But again, I will link in the description below where I got these. I got these off Amazon, and so for you guys, if you're interested in getting them. So here they are, swatched out and white. As you can see, they're very beautiful and bright colors. I love that brown. Somehow I am falling in love with brown paint markers. And here they are, swatched out on black. What I find interesting on black paper is that they happen to be the most opaque markers I've had. They're even more opaque than the Poscas, if you notice. Let me bring you in a bit closer. Look at the Poscas on top. And look at the Zeyar. It's not Zeyar, I call it Zeyar. The Zeyar Art Paint Pens. Now let's look at one of the nibs. This is how they look. They call it a medium nib. And these nibs are way bigger. Let me pull out a medium nib for the one I have. Let me pull out some pens and let's do some comparison. So what I have here, let me pull it back out. Yeah. What I have here is the 6 different types of markers that I have, paint markers. These are the Poscas. These are the 1-point nibs. As you can see how this looks. Okay. This is supposed to be the 3-point nib for the Poscas, if I'm not mistaken. This is how this looks. And now we're going to compare it to this nib here, which is their medium nib, and you can see how bigger their medium nib is to the Poscas, which is really nice. This is the paint marker, which is a 3.5 nib, and you can see how bigger their medium nib is to the Pointers paint marker. This is the plain one. To the Pointers glitter paint markers. This is this is another 3-point nib. And here, these are the Milan Fluoroglass, and this is a more chisel nib. So as you can see, these nibs are a bit chunkier than both the Posca and the... I don't have any Pointers 5mm nib to these are not 5. I think these are 3, if I'm not mistaken. These are 3mm. Yeah, 3mm nib. I don't have any pointer 5mm nibs or bigger nibs to compare them to. Now, when I got these, they came in this box, as you can see here. This is the box they came in, and they were actually housed in this plastic cover in here within the box. So it says Zeyar Paint Acrylic Pens, water-based, water-resistant. I guess when dry, 12 colors. It is tested for safety, non-toxic. It does have the ASTMD 4236, and on the box itself, it gives you a sample of surfaces it can write on: stone, paper, glass, wood. It gives you instructions, directions, and how to activate the pen and use the pen. And it also gives you the colors that are included within the box. It talks a little bit about the company that shipped these. Ningbo Zhenya Stationery. It's in China. Gives you a little warning for children who are under the age of 3, and it's barcode. I guess these are relatively new because it has March 2021 up there. Okay, now so that we saw how the colors all swatched out, how it looks on white and black paper, I will be doing I should tell you, oh gosh, I should have told you what colors come in this, because one of the things I should have highlighted is that even though it does come with color names on the box, the color names are not represented on the barrel. I forgot to say that. Yeah, it does have on the barrel, it has medium point. It doesn't give you a size for the medium point. That it's Zeyar Art Paint Pens, water-based acrylic pens, waterproof, opaque. All those information that I've read previously to you. Let me get a darker one because maybe this yellow is hurting your eyes like it's doing mine. See, all those information that I read out to you is represented on the pen. And as you can see, it has this Zeyar Paint Pen medium base tip. The back end posts. And yeah, one of the things I found superb is that it can open here. If I could figure out how to open it, but it does have a screw on top, so it can open there. I guess if you want to refill it, but these doesn't come with refills, so I don't know. But I've heard that you can refill these. That's what I've heard. So we could try. I believe I'm gonna color my little lion here in this little sketchbook, and it's a quick little doodle, so I'm not gonna open it up and, you know, do a little time lapse, because this is a quick little doodle. One of the things that I've noticed with this pen, especially when I used it on hot press paper, because I believe I did do a doodle on hot press paper with these paint pens, that they tend to dry quickly. Like when I do large surfaces, and I probably already put up the sketchbook already where I did a large surface, it tend to dry the ink very fast. I'm like, yo, you know, I had to continuously prime the nib like this to get ink out, because see, it was dry. When it's wet, it's really wet, but when it's dry, it's really dry. So those are something I noticed with this paint pen, that the nib tend to dry out very easily. And if you're working with a large surface with this, you do need to prime it very often. So I'm using the yellow one here. The colors that are represented in this box is yellow, orange, red, magenta, light magenta, violet, it has bright blue, green, brown, gold, black, and white with a silver. There is a 24 set with this nib. I really do like these nibs here. There is a 24 set with this nib that comes with more colors, but these colors are repeated in that 24 set. I guess these are the basic 12, and then the 24 set just add on 12 more colors onto it. So yeah. And so I told you it's gonna be quick. So I could actually talk while doing this. And priming, it didn't take long at all. Within, you know, 10 seconds it was already primed. The only thing is when you're, you know, coloring large surface, it tends to dry out, especially if you're working on an unprimed paper. These papers here that is in this little sketchbook here has been primed with gesso, so it's not as permeable as the hot press paper. I'm already feeling it dry. One thing I could say that the nibs are very hard. Not as hard as the pointers though. I mean, they're a bit softer than the pointers, but they're not as soft as the Poscas. So they have very hard nibs. So just have to be mindful of that. Another clue is when working with these, I don't press very hard. I actually go on very lightly and press and color with it with a very light touch. So I'm not digging into the, do a little color mix in there. Just to kind of make it look a bit darker. Okay, let's let this dry a bit and then we're gonna come back. Let me finish up the nose and the little other corners. Okay, we are actually finishing up here. I'm just putting down some light magenta, maybe a little brown. Yeah, just for the mouth, just a little brown in there. Yeah, and we're done. It is that easy. As you can see, I struggled a bit to get fine lines with these, so the nibs are not as versatile as maybe the Posca's 3mm nibs or the Pointers nibs. They're not as versatile, but I think it's a good attempt and I really enjoyed working with these. I love the color distribution when it's wet. It doesn't dry as easily as, or as quickly I should say, as the Poscas. In comparison to the Poscas, I think the Pointers took more time to dry than these, so it's a good in between, and I really do like the color combination, especially with that broader, bigger nib. And guys, I think, you know, I don't want April to be the year of the month of the paint markers, but it's looking to be that way, because I have a couple more paint markers to bring to you guys, because I have been enjoying using these paint markers a lot. I have an illustration here where I used all, I'm still working with this. I'm still working with this in stages, you know, because it has to dry. And I did finish off my sketchbook that I had to finish. So those are finished off, so I can bring all that to you. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.